Welcome everybody to Pep Talk with Fariya. Today we have an amazing Wahine, Sina Mulitalo, who is going to share her journey with us. She's 51-year-old New Zealand, born in Samoa and raised in Otautahi Christchurch. She has two younger siblings and sisters, Tracy and Lisa. Attended St. Paul Presbyterian Island Church since birth until 18 years of age. Sina attended Aranui High School, graduate of Fulton, and she's graduate of Fulton College in Suva, Fiji. Wow. Works in Christchurch City Council, and I've seen her at works, it's amazing, and as event partnerships and development advisor. She's also part of Time Group Fitness instructor in Zumba Fitness and Strong Nation, high intensity interval training. She has lived overseas in Fiji for 4 years, Papua New Guinea for a year, Sydney, Australia for 4 years, and the UK for 1 year. Sina returned to Christchurch when father passed away in January 2002. Currently works as several community groups, mainly Pacifica. She's deeply valued with every group she's part of. She enjoys helping and serving other people to be a better person herself and to live life to the fullest. And she enjoys learning and sharing and meeting people, especially during some exciting times, and seeing people thrive. What an amazing, amazing journey, Sina. Thank you for being at our show.
Oh, thank you so much, Fariya, for inviting me onto your podcast.
The pleasure is entirely mine. And I have known you and I've seen you in action in your Zumba fitness and sometimes, not much, but in Strong Nation high intensity workout. And I feel that you have amazing core strength, and you are one instructor who encourages people to give their best. You're so passionate about what you do, you're passionate about fitness, you're passionate about growth, and you make it very fun for all of us.
Yeah, that's one thing that I found about exercise. We all know it's very important in our lives, and sometimes it's very hard to try and maintain exercise. So making it fun is just even more better to reach a few more people.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the fun, but the body gets healthier, and we have such good fun times together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Well, I could talk about the fun stuff that I have had with you and the times where I've seen you shining through that. But life is quite a bigger picture for all of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Pep Talk is the show which is going to talk about how we face the challenges and what are the ways we can overcome them.
Mm-hmm.
So will you be able to share an experience where you face significant challenge or adversity in your life?
Mm-hmm.
And please share how you overcame that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I think one of the most significant impacts that or experiences I've had in my life was when back in 2011, it was shortly after I had broken up, from a long-term relationship of 8 years, and I threw myself into trying to cope with the breakup and with the changes and living arrangements and things like that. So as you can imagine, it was a bit of a stormy time during that period in my life. So launching into exercise, I have never ever been an athletic person. I am a give it a go person. I would love to, I tend to try things, to give it a go, and I love staying active, but I'm definitely not athletic at all. However, I did read and also experience the benefits of maintaining an exercise routine, and that was helping with your well-being and mental stability, and able to cope with many challenges, even little challenges in life. So it was during that time, and when I thought, oh, you know what, I'm gonna really give myself a challenge and start playing a sport. So I started playing flag footy, which is a version of touch football, but you're grabbing instead of tagging people, you're grabbing the tags that hang off the sides of the hips of your opponents. So it was a fun time, and I played, and I made it into the Canterbury women's team, and we travelled up north to play in the tournament, in the national tournament, and there was where I injured my knee, my left knee. I strapped it up and played through the whole tournament with an injured knee, and I returned back home, did a bit of physio on it, and I thought, oh, it's nothing much to it. And then it was about a month after returning from the tournament that I was training, and I jumped over a step, landed on my feet, went to twist around to jump back over the step, and I just dislodged it. My knee just buckled. So it swelled up that night, and the next day I went into my doctor, who referred me to the physio, who said I needed to get an MRI, and weeks later I found out that I didn't have an ACL, which is the main ligament that connects your knee to your hip.
Yes.
So that disappeared, it disintegrated because I've been playing on an injured knee for so long. So, you know, at that point, at that stage of being active and training, I was very fit, and every day I did something, whether it was sport or training or running or anything that kept me, just kept me active during the day. So after the doctor's consultation, he said that I needed to do a ACL or knee replacement operation, and I really wish that it was instant replacement, but he said that I'd be out for 5 weeks. When he said that to me, he might as well just written my life sentence. Because I thought,
such a big thing,
it is. As you know, for being active, you just it inspires and encourages you to do more, and you just have a whole new lease on life because you're so full of energy, and you got all those great brain chemicals just going around your body, and you're just living a positive and just such a fabulous active life, and your social life extends as well when you have that type of energy. So when he said that I was going to be bedridden for 5 weeks, I was up here at my peak in my travels and my journey, and I was just
plumbed again.
Started to plummet. You know how you're at when kids are jumping off the cliffs, that just felt like that. It felt like someone said, oh sorry, and just pushed me off, and I went, see you later. So diving into that pool of despair, and just almost felt quite depressed, and I was just at rock bottom, where after the operation I was just bedridden. I couldn't move. I didn't want to. I tried my best to keep as active, but I couldn't. So all I could do was my upper body exercise,
but you didn't give in.
I didn't give in.
Yes.
So I bought one of those yoga balls, and started doing my sit-ups on it and press-ups and things. But
amazing.
It was a really hard time, where it started to, when you have enough time for yourself.
Absolutely.
And then you're out of the busyness, and you're in your own mind, and then you start questioning yourself. You start questioning, why am I doing this? You start doubting yourself, and you start feeling less confident about what you're all about and why you do these types of things. So it was, I started to make plans and started to overcompensate. What am I going to do after? How am I going to step out of this pool of despair, and try and get back into life and try to live that fulfilled life, and back on track. So after the 5 weeks, I actually was naughty and tried to walk,
Yes.
2 weeks before.
Yeah. Solid willpower.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and I'm actually feeling the impacts of it now, without listening to the doctor. Always listen to your doctor.
Good advice.
Because now my knee clicks a bit because I didn't allow it enough time for it to heal. So, getting out of it, of that pool of despair, I just threw myself back into instructing.
Sure.
I went and I thought, okay, so I did started training for duathlons, which is, and that was just novelty competitions,
Wow.
that was biking and running.
Yes.
So I started getting involved in that, and it was a good feeling because you were with all these other women.
Yes.
That there were hundreds of women
The
competing.
group makes such a difference, isn't it?
Such a difference.
Yes.
And, having that camaraderie and, people that have trained beforehand and go through their own struggles.
Yeah.
You share that, and when you share that and have these conversations with your sisters on this journey, it's like, the things that they go through, you resonate with them, and we encourage each other, and it's an amazing journey. It's hard yakka, but the best thing about it is that when you come out of diversity, and adversity, and some hardships, then you come out the other end.
Hand on heart.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we are doing here.
Yeah.
As a group, inviting guests like you and women like you who've been so inspirational in so many ways. To be able to come here, and that's what I plan in the show, that the guests are coming from diverse backgrounds, and we have such different strengths that we all women, if we get combined, we can help each other so much. And thank you for sharing your journey when you speak about the challenges that you started with a long-term relationship that was no longer in the life, and taking the downfall maybe from there. I don't want to call it a downfall, but the change maybe. So breakups are not downfall, they're the change. You never know, it's more for your freedom, and it was now, if you say. And then what you started doing was to get focused on fitness, and you got so fit and you enjoyed the journey, and you were at the top of the things again. When the second event happened and the situation called with, the ACL and the treatment and the surgery and the rest of 5 weeks. And I love the fact when you said that you started doubting yourself.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. Like, to be able to resonate that actually I'm doubting myself. I'm in the situation of despair. This is not where I would want to be in, and I can do something else from there. What exactly were you thinking, Sina? And obviously you would be seeing other people doing so well around the success. The success can be really shiny, and the things are very, and within ourselves, we may not feel we are not good enough, or this is not working out. What exactly were you thinking, and how you helped yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Like what you said, Fariya, is that, I started comparing myself to others, and because I was so much in my head, I started looking up things as to what others were doing and comparing myself to them, and just having that self-doubt as to, I don't think I'm that fit enough, or I'm not that beautiful enough. I don't have that silhouette. I don't have the money to, for the clothing, the shoes, to get to travel, to go to these workshops or these functions, or, to have that network. And it's like, what am I doing? And it's so, and I thought, why don't I just stay here? Why don't it's easier to stay here and just loathe and just think, I'm never gonna reach I'm never going to be the ideal, instructor or exercise person or get that fulfillment that I can see these other people receiving, and then that kind of thing just really plays on your mind. Yeah.
It plays on your mind, isn't it?
It
It
sure
may not
does.
be true at all.
It isn't 100%
Yeah.
untrue,
Mm.
and it's some of the negative things we tend to tell ourselves, and
Yes.
then we start to look at ourselves as victims
Yes.
of a situation. And then I thought, no, I am not a victim. I'm a fighter,
Wow.
and I think each and every one of us are, and
Yes.
that's what I've recognized since being part of the exercise industry, and just engaging with our participants and members, that you can always see that thing in human beings, that human spirit that I'm a fan of, is that we are fighters.
Yes.
We turn a page or turn our perspective to what's more positive, and say, I'm not a victim, I'm a fighter, I'm going to get out of this no matter what. I'll find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh, wow. That is so inspirational, and that is so true. And hearing from you just, made me feel that all at once, that being a fighter, is important to realize who we think we are, what defines us. And for me as well, in my life, I've seen it comes down to two choices. Do I give in?
Definitely,
Yeah.
yes.
Or do I fight back?
Exactly, and that's just it, isn't it? It's like, what choice are you going to make, or what? You're at a crossroad, which path are you going to take? And sometimes we might take the wrong path, but we can always, go back onto the right path, or get back onto the horse.
Yes.
And it'll be hard. It's
Yes.
hard.
Yeah. I think both choices are hard. Suffering is hard too, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. It
Yeah.
might be even, it's harder to, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But as we go, so much as the analogies is that, the diamond, a rough diamond comes out sparkling once it's been through the fiery furnace.
Absolutely.
You
And what an amazing diamond you are, Sina. I know. And the work you've done with fitness for yourself and for women like me, like I came from total academic background, and I started and I looked at your body and I saw you in action, and it totally inspired me to work on my own, which has been such a game changer for me as well. And I've gone back and discontinued, but I've gone back and continued again, because I've learned it's no perfect thing.
Exactly.
It's just keep turning up and giving your body what it needs to be able to have those good hormones going in there. It is magic, isn't it? So what will be your key strategies you like to give to the women who are listening, regarding building resilience? This can be in terms of developing fitness and gaining more strength in your body. What will be your tips? Yes.
Absolutely. One of the core things is making sure that you live by your values. My values is, of course, love, and also integrity and honesty, and really it starts with yourself, because you can't, even though one of my values is to serve others, I can't serve others the best I can if I don't turn up as the best person. So starting with yourself first, and just back then during my down period after the breakup was, reading some of Simon Sinek's books, knowing your why.
Know your why, yeah.
Which is so important.
Absolutely.
And my why for the exercise and being part of the fitness industry is to really help out people to live the best life they can, because health and fitness, it encompasses our whole life. So some of the strategies I would share with our listeners and women out there, or everybody, is that making sure that you do take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, and socially. So mentally, it could mean ways of just decluttering your mind, taking time out every day or as often as you can in the week, to have that quiet moment, whether it's praying, whether it's just sitting alone and just shutting everything out and just meditating within nature, or going for a walk with nature. If you're not religious, a religious experience or a spiritual experience can be simply sitting at the sea and looking into the horizon or watching the stars.
Wow.
Those kind of things are so rejuvenating for the mind.
Yes.
So that's where I think is very important. One of the main, founded posts in someone's foundation, to be able to be a bit more resilient, because we deal with so much in the world today: social media, work, children, family, relationships.
Yes, it's too much.
It's a lot. And then news and wars and climate change, and that's enough to make people go, oh my gosh, my brain is fried.
Yeah, absolutely. Overstimulus and usually useless things which we have no control over.
Yeah.
And we worry about the things and not, realizing how much of a precious time within the day we are, wasting. And the mental energy that goes there
100%.
is so precious, and it's not going to come back. I like the idea when you said that, to take the time off and have some time in reflection.
Yes.
Which is amazing. Thank you so much for your tips. I'm sure people who are listening, they're gonna love that. Because it starts with what we have within to be able to what we can give out.
Yes, definitely. Like what I do for my mental maintenance is just to, the first thing in the morning is just sitting up for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, early in the morning, around about 5 o'clock, and just sitting in my stillness and saying a little prayer, and then just talking to myself, being thankful. Gratitude is is so important as well.
Absolutely.
So that's
cornerstone of our well-being is gratitude. We can have whatever, we may not have whatever others have, but what we have is enough for us.
Is enough, more than enough.
To be able to practice gratitude, and that's the part of my well-being as well. Whatever little I have is enough for me, and to be able to say thanks for that is such an important thing to begin where we want to be.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Now time's running fast, and I could chat with you like for days now, because it's so good. I've been a fan of your fitness and the dancing and the exercising that you've been doing for so long. But to get the emotional side of you so open, to see the spiritual side of yours, it's just an amazing experience and an uplifting experience for me. So thank you.
One.
Would you very quickly share about a book or a podcast, and through that you like and that has inspired you, and through that give a quick pep talk as well?
Yeah, sure. So one of the authors that has really inspired me during my journey is Brene Brown. She's amazing.
Yes.
I love her book Braving the Wilderness.
Yes.
Which I had, I could really relate to, because some of the things that she had to was, thinking of where does she belong, and that's some of the struggles I had too. I was trying to look for places or groups or people to belong to, and she goes on into her book about braving the wilderness and just navigating this world of, you belong. You don't belong to anyone or to anything or anywhere. You belong to you. I thought that's really beautiful.
Yes.
Because she's had her struggles with trying to fit in. We try to fit in and compare ourselves to others' successes, and we try to, try to reach those things that we think, oh yeah, we've made it.
Yeah.
But we should be happy with what we have.
Mm.
We're human beings. We make mistakes, and she talks a lot about vulnerability as well. But with the braving acronym, I thought it was really nice that it was important to put in. So for B for braveness, for boundaries, R for reliability, A for accountability, V for vault. Vault, you might think, what's the vault? You know, we think it's a safe, and it's a safe place where we don't try to use gossip or talking about other people for currency to make connections. Like, you know, we try to make connections with other people by talking about other people.
Yes.
But so we need to create a vault where, hey, you know, we need to uplift people rather than bring them down and use their plight for our own uses. Integrity, as you know, we say what we do what we say.
Yes.
Non-judgment.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one. Not assuming what other people are all about, and just, you know, accepting them for who they are, and just being a little bit more open-minded, and generosity, you know, of your time and your heart and love, and just being gracious to other people. So, you know, my pep talk to people is that living life to the fullest is, you know, the important thing is that you love yourself, so that you're able to be a fountain of love to who you serve. Serving others is like a gift, because you can, to me, that's the biggest, that's such a highlight of, you know, of my day, is being able to see in someone's eyes that, you know, that they're happy, that they've found something or discovered something, or gained something or value for their own lives. So my pep talk is to, you know, believe in yourself, love yourself, don't give up. You know, you're only human. You know, we are all human, and we are on a journey where there are rocky roads, there are mountains to climb, and we will struggle. It's hard, and sometimes the coming down is steep, but there'll be times when you'll be traveling on a smooth, level plane and enjoy it. Not only those good times, but the bad times too, because that does make who we are. It tells us, it shows, you know, these experiences help build up their courage, their bravery to navigate the wilderness, and to be able to, you know, stand up to those things that tend to bring us down.
I'm so glad this is recorded, because I'm going to go and listen to it again and again.
Oh, no.
It was such a beautiful message, Sina. You talked about a beautiful journey within that we all have to go through, and I love the mountain metaphor.
Yeah.
And also the fact when you said that you can start to enjoy the challenges, because that's when you become brave and courageous.
Yeah.
What an amazing message for all the women who are listening this show. And thank you. And I know I cannot thank you enough for the beautiful insights and the strategies and the tips that you have shared in our show today. You are an amazing wahine. You are a leader. You are a thought leader. And I see today that you are such a beautiful spirit as well. Thank you so much for being here with us. And I loved having you. Thank you for joining Pep Talk with Fariya.
Thank you, Fariya. Appreciate it.
Thank you.